What does it take to go from a young hopeful to an Olympic gold medalist to a global tennis sensation? This is the story of Zheng Qinwen, China's next big sports star who's taking the tennis world by storm. In this video, we'll explore 3 key questions. How did Zheng Qinwen, aka Queen Wen, rise to the top of the tennis world at just 21 years old? What challenges did she overcome on her path to Olympic gold? And what's next for this rising star as she builds her career both on and off the court? Zheng Qinwen's journey is nothing short of inspiring. When she stepped onto the court for her second-round match at the US Open, the energy in the crowd was electric. Many of the fans, especially Asian Americans, cheered her on as she defeated Russia's Erica Andreeva. Zheng's rising stardom has caught the attention of tennis fans around the world, and for good reason. At 21 years old, Zheng has already achieved what many players dream of: an Olympic gold medal. Her performance at the Paris 2024 Games and her strong showing at the US Open have made her one of the top names to watch in tennis. She's aiming to win a US Open title in the future, and she's determined to take her career even further. But Zheng's ambitions don't stop with winning tournaments. Off the court, Zheng has been making major moves in the world of endorsements. She has landed sponsorship deals with big brands like Nike, Gatorade, and McDonald's, and even signed a deal with Lancome, putting her on track to become one of the most marketable athletes in tennis today. With nearly a dozen sponsorships already, Zheng's ability to connect with both Chinese and US audiences is drawing comparison to athletes like Jeremy Lin and Yao Ming. Just like these stars, she's expected to attract fans and brands alike. Her growing influence off the court is evident as she becomes a bridge between 2 major markets. As she continues to rise in the tennis world, her commercial value will only increase, and experts predict she could dominate the US market as well. Zheng isn't the first to break barriers in Chinese tennis, and she won't be the last. Zheng looks up to Li Na, the first Chinese woman to win a Grand Slam singles title. Li paved the way for future generations, including Zheng, showing the world that Chinese athletes could compete at the highest levels. Li also capitalized on her success with lucrative endorsement deals from brands like Rolex and Mercedes-Benz, something Zheng is now doing herself with companies like Ant Group and Nike. Following in Li Na's footsteps, Zheng is on the same path to greatness, and she's already proven she has what it takes both on and off the court. Zheng's journey hasn't been without its struggles. After a tough loss in the final of the 2024 Australian Open, Zheng hit a rough patch, and some fans even criticized her for it. But instead of letting the negativity bring her down, she came back stronger, stunning everyone by winning the Olympic gold in Paris. Her victory in Paris silenced the critics and reminded everyone while she's one of the best young players in the world. But there's more to Qinwen's story than just what we've seen on the court. Unlike many Chinese athletes, Zheng didn't follow the traditional state-run sports system. Instead, her family funded her tennis career, making sacrifices along the way. Her father sold household items, and her mother quit her job to support Zheng full-time. At 13, she caught the eye of IMG Academy in Florida, where she signed her first deal with Nike. This self-made path has given her access to top-level coaching and resources, helping her become the player she is today. This journey has made Zheng not just a tennis player, but a global brand in the making. Queen Wen isn't just following a new path, she's paving one. Her rise also reflects the broader changes happening in Chinese sports. More athletes are now moving away from the state-run training system and forming their own professional teams. This shift is opening doors for young talents like Zheng. giving them the freedom to train with the best in the world. With tennis booming in China and Zheng leading the charge, the sport is expected to grow even more popular. She's not only shaping the future of Chinese tennis, but also inspiring millions of young players. So what does Zheng's future look like? Qinwen's journey from a young, self-funded tennis player to an Olympic champion is already quite a story. As she continues to grow both on and off the court, it's clear that Zheng is poised to become one of the most influential figures in tennis over the next decade. Whether she's winning Grand Slams or signing new endorsement deals, Zheng is leaving her mark. With over 20 million active tennis players in China, the sport is booming, and Zheng is positioned to be the face of Chinese tennis for years to come. Her most recent goal is a spot at the WTA Finals. While competing in the Asian swing of the WTA Tour, including her home tournament at the China Open, she had admitted that she didn't realize she was in contention for the prestigious WTA Finals. After her runner-up finish at the Australian Open, Zheng decided to skip a few key tournaments, not understanding the qualification criteria for the WTA Finals. Reflecting on this, she expressed her frustration with her team, feeling they should have informed her earlier about the ranking points she needed. Now she's feeling the pressure to secure her spot in the top 8, but her focus remains on giving her best in every competition she enters. Despite the setback, Zheng is still in a great position to qualify for the WTA Finals, and she's looking forward to competing for a spot in November, alongside top players like reigning champion Iga Swiatek and US Open and Australian Open winner Aryna Sabalenka. When asked about playing in front of her home crowd in China, Zheng sees it as a positive energy boost, saying that the overwhelming support she receives from her fans gives her extra confidence on the court. She's taking it all in stride as she pushes towards the WTA Finals. As Zheng continues her rise, what truly sets her apart is her ability to balance her growing fame with a grounded mindset. Despite the mounting pressure from competing at home in China, the WTA Finals race, and her expanding endorsement profile, Zheng remains focused on improving her game. She's not just playing for titles or sponsorships, but for the love of tennis and the opportunity to inspire millions of young athletes across the globe. Her journey is proof that with talent, hard work, and the right mindset, the possibilities are endless. Thanks for watching. If you found Zheng Qinwen's story inspiring, hit the like button and subscribe for more stories about rising stars in sports. What do you think? Will Zheng make it to the WTA Finals? Let us know in the comments below.